Righty. Good evening, everybody. Um, Wherever and whenever you are joining me, welcome. I am very happy for you to be here. Hang on. Also, camera all cleaned and hopefully a bit less blurry now. So, yeah, two things. Okay, so it was mentioned a couple of weeks ago uh, by one of you about having some. I think it was friends that were unwell. Okay, and possibly quite seriously. The way I read it was like it's quite serious illness, um, or possibly family members, but whoever it was, someone was unwell. And what I kind of picked from that was, yes, I'm helping kind of in the background as I'm going about my day, um, or at least attempting to. And but the thing that stood out was loss. Okay, the fear of loss or grief. Okay, the fear of losing somebody. So I thought that was an important lesson to have a little chat about from the perspective where I try and see things from. I don't always see things this way. I do sometimes, I quite often see things in a normal way rather than this way. But at least um, if we've got access to this information, we can come to it and go, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense, hopefully. And we can apply it in our life and not feel that sense of loss, that sense of grief, or at least not so much, or for not so long. Okay, so it doesn't affect us so much in our lives. Okay, so we can lose many things. Okay, so not only people, but our own health. We can lose weight. Okay, we can lose our fitness. We can lose our youth, perhaps. All of these things that we kind of think I've written notes on this and I'm doing it all out of order already. Uh, all of these things that we feel like we can lose are temporary things. Okay, so what do we know about temporary things? Okay, from what I've taught over the past however long, um, temporary things are illusory. Okay, temporary things are untrue. Okay, so if we're looking at this through a lens of truth, truth lasts forever and never changes. Okay, so our body, our life really is temporary. Okay, so the body, the physical bits that make up my body is very temporary. Okay, the cells that make up my skin, they're coming off all the time, born and dying literally continuously. Red blood cells, hormones, um, all these things are being created and destroyed in my body constantly. I'm never the same me as I was even 5 minutes ago. So the body is very temporary. Okay, and not on a grander scale. Yes, we live 70, 80, 90, maybe 100 years, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. Okay, but even that, albeit it's fairly long, is very, very temporary. So what's true about a human being? Okay, because a human being, we look in a mirror, we look around us and we see people. Okay, and we think, okay, that's a very real thing, that's a very true thing. I can go over and touch it and poke it and it's got feelings and I can feel it with my senses. Okay, and I could maybe smell it. Okay, that might be weird depending on who that is. Okay, I can maybe taste it again, maybe weird depending on who that is and what you're doing with them. But um, you can hear them. It's a normal one. You can see them. Taste, smell, touch. Yeah, I think that's the five bases covered. Um, so people look and feel very real. But the true thing about a person, our our truth is that it's the consciousness or the soul that's true. That's the thing that doesn't change. That's the thing that's eternal. That's the thing that will continue to exist after the body is gone. It will exist in a different form. Okay, it will not exist in this a set of atoms. It will exist somewhere else in some other way. I couldn't possibly begin to tell you where or how. Maybe there's a reincarnation thing. I don't know. Maybe it is heaven. Maybe it is hell. Hopefully not. But in fact, I kind of think differently about those things anyway. But it will be in existence somewhere. Okay. And the thing we think we lose about a person is many things. Okay. But a couple of notes that I wrote down is like their companionship, their friendship, the joy we feel when we're spending time with someone, the conversations we have, the the friendship, the companionship, the love. Okay. The feelings that they give us. Okay. It's the feelings that we have when we're with this person. That's the thing that we actually are grieving. Okay. So we know a few things about feelings here. Okay. Feelings can be created at any point. Okay. If I tell you to feel happy and ask you to think about something that makes you happy, hopefully you can do that very, very quickly. Okay. We should be able to do that, no problem. Okay. Think about something that makes you happy. Okay. I'm just going to generate some happiness right now. Okay. Easy. It's done. Okay. Happy. It's not always easy to do because we might be in a mood. We might, you might have had something go on, and it's not quite as easy to feel happy like that. But it's self-generated. Okay, so we can create our feelings. So the person we've lost, okay, helped us to create those feelings, perhaps quite easily or regularly, and made us feel good. But what will happen when a person passes, okay, or is not in our life for whatever reason anymore, is whatever it is that they gave you, that friendship, companionship, that love, that happiness, it will be available from someone or something else. Okay, so maybe it will come from someone who's already in your life. So that person who's already in your life, maybe you're kind of friends with them already. Okay, maybe you're already quite good friends with them, but they don't give you quite the same as what this other person did. That person might then start to give you some or all of what this person who's passed will give you or was giving you, okay, or what you felt from them. Okay, maybe 10 different people who, again, perhaps you already know, perhaps you know some, perhaps you don't know others, and you get to know them at some point. Hey, they will give you the things that this person who has gone will give you. So in truth, this person never goes anywhere. You can always remember them. You can always remember happy times you had with them, because although memories are untrue, we can use them to generate feelings. Okay, again, good and bad. Okay, but in this case, we're looking for the positive memories. So that person is never really gone. Okay, they always exist in your memory. Okay, the things that you feel like you have lost from them will show up in some other way in your life. Okay, so let me just check my notes. Yeah, I think yes, and the final thing I've written here, the key is to look for those things. Okay, I think I will leave it on that point. The key is to look for those things in other places. Okay, so if we keep our mind closed and go, "Oh, it was only that person who could give me those things," that's then denying the opportunity for those things to come for someone else. So you've got to keep our minds, our eyes, our hearts open for receiving those same things that this person who is perhaps gone offered and gave us. We got to look for it in some other aspect of our life. Okay, another person, another situation, another place, whatever it is, it will be there somewhere. Okay, and we just have to remain open, listening, looking, smelling, tasting, feeling, for those things to show up. Okay, grief. I think it's fine to feel grief. Absolutely, it's fine to feel grief if you lose someone or even a pet. Okay, I'll still think about Max from time to time. As a pain in the butt as much as he was a lovely little dog, and he went too soon. So it's it's still sad. But when I remember him now, it's just this waggy little tail, this puffy little chunk of dog, who's a bit autistic probably. um didn't really get things. Okay, it was funny. Okay, yeah, as much as I didn't enjoy getting up at 5:30 in the morning to take him out for a walk when I was working early and all those kinds of things, there was so much good. But then, you know, where else did I get those things from after he passed? Okay, other places, other places. And there's not much of a link between the two topics tonight, although there probably is. I'm just not seeing it right now. Okay, this one came up in conversation or in treatment with a client earlier. Was being grateful in advance. So I'm going to tell you the story first. Um, so he's been up with he's got like he's not a business coach, but he's someone who's helping him with his business to grow it, expand it, etc., etc. And the things are looking kind of very good at the moment, which is fantastic. And he's looking to sell his business in a year or two. Okay, probably do 2 to 3 years, and probably retire, which would be amazing. So his coach, his guy that he went to see, took him out to this fancy restaurant, Michelin star, up, where are they? Harrogate, I think he said. Okay, they're up in Harrogate, a 2-star Michelin restaurant. And he said, look, tonight I'm going to pay for it. But in 2-3 years' time, when your business is sold, you're going to pay for it. And they kind of left it at that. And they ordered their food, whatever. Okay. And then Charlie told me what the bill was. And it was 750 quid for 3 people. I was like, wow, that's quite a lot of money. And he said, yeah, Wednesday night is a discount night. So he said when he goes back, the chances that they normally meet on a Thursday, whenever he goes up there. So once every, I don't know, 4 weeks or 8 weeks or however it is. It's normally a Thursday when he goes up. Thursday is peak night. So he's actually expecting his bill to be somewhere in the region of 1,500 quid for 3 people to go out for a meal again. But his coach was saying to him, oh, no, I don't. It's like, yes, that's it. He wanted him to feel the experience of being there so that when he came back, he knew what to expect. Okay, so that was essentially, that was practicing feeling success in advance. Okay, so being grateful in advance. Okay, so even though you may not have the thing that you want yet, you practice by feeling it. Okay, and we talked about, you know, if I was to go out and spend 1,500 quid on a meal, I would be terrified. Okay, I'd be like, oh God, how am I going to do this? Okay, if I was to do it like now with Pete head on now, current financial situation, 1,500 quid a meal, what a waste of money. You know, I hope they're giving me tables and tables and tables worth of food and, you know, the most expensive wine that you can buy in France, okay, or wherever in the world. And you know, I'm getting a great bargain for 1,500 quid. Not kind of what I think of as like, you know, Michelin star dining, which is like 5 plates of mouthfuls of food, which are probably incredibly tasty and beautifully presented, but they're not actually going to fill me up. Okay, so that's my picture of a Michelin star meal. That's the kind of the expectation in my head. Maybe it's nothing like that. I don't know, but because you know I've not been to one. Not no, I definitely haven't, and certainly not one that's going to cost 300, 400, 500 pounds a head. So we were talking about that, and it's like, I'll just use his name. Hey, Charlie. What you've got to do in the meantime is normalize in your mind that 1,500 quid is okay. Visualize handing over your card after receiving the bill and just tapping. Well, you wouldn't be able to tap, right? But essentially just going, yeah, here's my digits, da, 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 thanks. Okay, and it's going on his, I don't know, Amex Gold or Amex Platinum or whatever it is. And he's getting 100, 200 air miles or whatever when he taps his card, okay, or types in his code. And I want him to practice doing that in his mind time and time again. So he's had the real experience, okay, which we might not always get, but he has had a real experience of being in this restaurant and kind of knowing the price and kind of getting the feeling of being there, experiencing the smells, experiencing the sounds, experiencing the tastes. So he can hopefully quite easily now recreate that image in his mind, but with the difference of him paying, okay, rather than somebody else paying, okay, and it being easy and it being kind of no worries. I don't necessarily want you to have that experience, okay, but the experience I want you to have, it's to do with any of your desires, any of your goals, okay, is having it done. What is the thing that you're going to do or be able to do when your goal is complete? So whether it's a 5K run in, I don't know, sub 25 minutes, a weight loss target, some kind of health goal, some kind of fitness goal, some kind of financial goal, some kind of family relationship goal. Put yourself at the end, okay, when it is complete. And I've talked about this. I think I talked about this last week, okay, but maybe in a different way, but this time with an example. Okay, put yourself right at the very end. Okay, what am I doing? How am I feeling? Who am I with? What are the smells? What are the tastes? What are the sounds? Okay, and that's then you're being able to generate the feeling that you want to have now instead of struggling and waiting and doing all these things and trying to get to the future kind of as quickly as possible. Okay, so talk about a little bit about gratitude on this as well, and how I've done gratitude this way, and I think it's actually slightly wrong. So I'm going to give you a slight adaptation on gratitude, and I've kind of already talked about it, but we often, when people talk about gratitude, we often talk about being grateful for the things that we already have, the things that are here in this room, okay, out on the driveway. Okay, so I can be grateful for my house. It's a nice house, 3-bedroom. It's comfortable. It's not too big. It's not too small. You know, I've got a decent garden. Got a nice trampoline. Okay, I've got all these things. I've got bikes. I've got cars. I've got income. I've got some clients. You know, it's happy. You know, I've got a workplace. I'm quite happy with that. I can be grateful for all these things. I've got my kids, obviously. I've got a wife. Yeah, happy. Grateful for my current level of health. Yep. Okay, tick, 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 tick. Okay, I can be grateful for all those things. Okay, but again, all of these things are temporary. If I go back to the loss stuff, they're all temporary things. They're not kind of true things. It's absolutely fine to be grateful for those things. But what if we could be grateful for things that we don't have or we seemingly don't have yet? Right? So it's being grateful for like universal love, not relationship love, not romantic love, but the love that exists. It's like a different kind of love. It's like a peaceful love. Okay, it's just like, oh gosh, everything feels amazing. Okay, it's very blissful. Okay, can we be grateful for perfect health? Okay, not just good health, not just, oh, I'm free of aches and pains right now. That's amazing. Okay, but perfect health. Okay, can I be grateful? And if we do want to bring it down smaller, can I be grateful for, you know, our regular kind of human goals, of, you know, being able to get on the scales and be a certain weight, or have a certain shape tummy, or buying I'm doing this, buying smaller bras, if you know, if it's kind of a weight loss thing, or being grateful for buying new clothes because of weight loss, or buying new clothes just because you've earned more money, or more money has come to you in some way, shape, or form, and you're like, oh yeah, let's get some new clothes because I want to feel good. Okay, can I be grateful in advance for the things that I seemingly don't have yet, but I know are coming to me? And so one of the things I got asked to do this is, you know, a few months ago, but I've come back to it. I've gone through this training video a couple of times, and I remember the exact question, but it's like when you imagine you're best self, what do you see? Okay, what do you see yourself doing? Okay, every time I think of that question, the very first thing that jumped into my mind then, and it still jumps into my mind now, and I still think it's a bit odd. So, but I'm going to say it. But odd is what we do here. Is I'm floating, sitting in a lotus position, with kind of like white light behind me, and then it kind of grades out to a purple. Okay, and I'm floating. I'm just kind of hovering in the air, and it's like, can I be grateful for that? Okay, for me, that's what kind of enlightenment. That's where enlightenment is. Okay, that's what my soul is. What consciousness is kind of going towards. That's my destination. If I can feel that now, I go, okay, yeah, I'm just going to sit there. I'm going to have that in my mind, and that just brings pure peace. An incredible stillness to my mind, just to have that image in my mind, even for a few seconds. So you don't have to have, that kind of picture, but what is it that you're desiring? Okay, what's the goal? Okay, maybe that's a real physical goal. Something you can tick the box says, yeah, I ran that 5K in under 25 minutes. Yeah, I ran that whole 5K without stopping and walking. Yeah, I did this thing. I lost that weight. I changed that relationship. That relationship's now amazing. Okay, box ticked. Okay, what we're looking for really is the feeling. Okay, the feeling at the end of it. Okay, it's the happiness. It's the relief. It's the peace. It's the joy. It's one of those. Okay, it's the oh, I don't have that stress anymore. Okay, basically, it's the relief of stress. Okay, it's the relief of anger. It's the relief of some kind of suffering. So if we can just go to that feeling, okay, and go, right, okay, yeah, my goal is complete. How does it look? Okay, I can put myself in a situation where it's already completed. In a restaurant, having a nice family meal. You're all sat down. You're all having a nice conversation. There's nobody on their phone. You're in maybe a slightly fancier restaurant than perhaps you would ordinarily go to. Maybe you're a bit dressed up. Maybe you're on your way to a West End show after you've had your meal, and just everything is peaceful. The waiters and waitresses are just kind of buzzing around. There's other people having conversations on other tables. But you're in this like little bubble space, okay, a booth, but it's also like there's an invisible bubble. Okay, the bubble doesn't actually, it's not there, but it's kind of everything is kind of muffled around you. Okay, so you can't fully hear other people's conversations, but they're going on. And you're just chatting away within your family group and you're all there. And it's just very peaceful. Okay, and that's just an image I just thought of on the spot, but maybe that's the kind of thing for you, or maybe there's something else entirely. It doesn't whatever it is going to be personal to you. You just get to that point. It's like, okay, yeah, this is what the end goal feels like. Okay. And the more that I connect with that feeling, the easier things are going to be. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that as well. Okay. So it's going to be a short one tonight, but I think it's going to be a bit longer. So this bit I don't have notes on. One of the mistakes I make, perhaps you're making too, I think it's quite a common mistake, is going, right, I've been doing all this meditation, I've been doing all this work, I've been changing this and changing that. I've changed this about my life, I've changed that habit. Where's the change? Okay. Oh, I've been doing this, where's the change? And we keep looking for, okay, where's the change? 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 Okay. And that is us going, I don't know if this is working. Okay. I'm in a huge amount of doubt. I'm doing all this work. Where's the change? Okay. And we want the change to happen fast as well. Okay. So it's like, okay, I want the change now. Okay. I've just done the meditation. I want to feel better now. Okay. I want that And if it's not there, it's like, oh, the thing that I'm trying to change, well, shit, I'm looking at it and it's like, it doesn't look like it's changed. Ah, shit. Is it working? I don't know. I don't. Ooh, okay, and we end up with all this doubt. So it's going to sound weird. Okay, stop looking for change. Okay, because that's the next thing that's going to prevent things from happening. Okay, we want to go through life blissful and kind of just knowing that change is happening. Okay, you might not be able to see it immediately. Okay, it might be instant. Okay, it might be okay the next day. Yeah. Oh, look, this lovely thing's come through in the mail, and that's the thing that's helping me to achieve my goal. Okay, oh, that message has just come through, and it's a new opportunity, and I'm going to take that. Amazing. Okay, but it might take a couple of weeks, it might take a couple of months, it might take a couple of years. Okay, but and again, I'm guilty of this. It's like I'm expecting instant or near instant results with people. Okay, and yes, I can get some very good quick changes with things, but I always want more and faster. Okay. And maybe because I want more and faster, it's happening slower. Okay. So it's like, okay, I need to let go of that expectation. I need to let go of that desire for instant change. Things will grow when they're ready. So it's like planting and I've heard this story a number of times recently. So maybe you've heard it before. I think it's one of these kind of, again, esoteric kind of Hindu, Buddhist probably stories. It's like a farmer going to plant a seed in his fields, and then every day he comes back. You know, he's grown a little bit. Okay, there's a little seedling kind of just popping out of the ground, and he goes out and he wants it to grow a bit faster, so he just pulls it just slightly. Okay, and the next day he pulls it just slightly again. You see, where he really wants these seeds to grow, he just pull, tap, tap, just a little bit, little bit, little bit. Okay, and one day he pulls the sapling out. Okay, because he's been trying to grow it faster and faster and faster, and then the sapling has gone. Okay, and it doesn't get to where it's supposed to go. So it's almost like it's just plant the seed. Okay, you go into your mind, you create the image you want, you feel the feeling that you want. Okay, this is the end goal. The end goal is happiness. The end goal is peace. The end goal is freedom, joy, kind of just having everything that you think you want and everything that your true desires will come. Okay. So the desires that you don't know you have that are on the way, but we're blocking. Okay. If we keep going around looking for things, it's like pulling on that seed. Okay, it's pulling on the sapling. Okay, and just eventually you pull it out and go, oh, the change has stopped. Okay, so I was feeling a little bit better in my shoulder or my back or my hip or the weight loss or the relationship or whatever it was. I was feeling a little bit better because I kept looking for the bank balance to change and the scales to change and the body to move better. It actually hampers the progress. Okay, so you just go, okay, I'm going to create the feeling in my mind. Okay, and I'm just going to, that's my planting the seed, and I can plant the seed multiple times a day. Okay, I can fertilize it, I can do the weeding. Okay, but I'm not going to touch the seed. Okay, I'm not going to touch the sapling until it's grown. Okay. Okay, and we've also got different plants in the world. We've got plants that might take 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks to grow and fruit. And then we've got things like trees, which might take 20 years, 30 years, 100 years to be kind of fully grown, to be at their maximum capacity. So of all of our desires, some will come fast, some slow, okay, just like nature. So yes, kind of be aware of things changing, but don't be impatient. Constantly looking, constantly checking things, and you just go, okay, yeah, it's happening. I know it's going to happen. I know it's happening because I can feel it, I can see it. Okay, and I'm going to be grateful in advance for the thing that I know is coming. Okay, I know I'm provided for, so I have no worries. Okay, I know my health is improving. I know my aches and pains are improving. I know there is no loss in the universe. There is no uh, I will always receive back the thing that I think I've lost. Okay, somehow, some way, it will always be there. It'll always return to me. Okay, so cool. That's onto treatment time. What that will be on, who knows? Okay, because I leave that open to whatever comes at the time. So maybe it's on the same topic and maybe it's not. So forgive me for a moment. I'm just going to switch screens and we're going to hit record here. Super duper. All right, if you are not already in a nice, comfortable position, go find one. Quickly, hurry, you knew what you were doing. Find somewhere comfortable to sit, lie down, maybe get a blanket on, get comfy, and take a few breaths. Take them at any pace you like, whatever feels right and comfortable. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go to what is your true desire? Just ask yourself that. What is my true desire? What is my true purpose? And you may not consciously know the answer to that, but that's fine. Your subconscious mind does know that. Your conscious mind may not. Again, maybe there's an image, maybe there's a sound, maybe there's a clue that you're open to, or you're open to receiving right now, but maybe there's not. Just have that question in mind. I'm looking for my true purpose. And what is it? And even though you may not know what your true purpose is, what your kind of life's purpose is, you may not know what it is. Okay, or maybe you do and you go, oh no, that's not that. Okay, because maybe it's something you feel like you don't want. Okay, but allow it to be and allow yourself to not know, but also know that your subconscious does know. I've said no a lot, but whatever. It is there. Okay, and then allow yourself to contemplate that, do you know what? I am living my life's purpose. I am living my true desires. I have them all right now. Just notice what it feels like to have succeeded in your true purpose, even if you are unaware of what that is right now. Again, it's planting a seed. It's like having a bag full of random seeds. You don't know what's in there, but you know they'll all grow if you just scatter them in the earth and give them a water. Of all of those seeds, perhaps only one will grow, and that one is your true purpose. You don't know what it will be until it grows. Hey, maybe it's wheat, maybe it's oak, maybe it's a birch, maybe it's something that shows up straight away. Maybe it's something that takes a little while to reveal itself. And just know that it's there and it's growing. Okay, and then you've got to the end and it's fully grown and you have everything that you could have ever wanted and more. And maybe it does look like, a nice new house, nice car, loads of money in the bank. Maybe it looks like that. Maybe it looks pretty much the same as it does right now, but just feels different. Maybe the material things are irrelevant and it's just the feeling that you were looking for through the material things. And you suddenly realize, hang on a minute, I didn't need those material things at all to feel happy, to feel at peace. I needed to find my true purpose, my true desires. I needed to find that feeling and just allow that feeling to exist, percolate, and fill my body, fill all my energy systems, fill all the space around me. And then I can project those feelings out for other people. If I'm walking around the world in peace, that's going to affect other people. That's going to get shared. And the things we share also grow. So if we're experiencing happiness and we share some happiness with somebody else, maybe it's a smile, maybe it's a hug, you've just increased happiness in the world. And similarly, if we're experiencing sadness or anger and we make somebody else feel sad or upset to kind of join in with us, and we've enhanced that in the world. Okay, so our goals are to share our wins, our positivity, our happiness. Share that with people whenever you can. Make your life an Instagram highlights reel. People kind of sometimes say that it's, you're only seeing the best bits of people's life on social media. And that's quite true. But why wouldn't you want to share the things that make you happy? Why wouldn't you want to share the things that make you smile? Because in doing so, you might make somebody else smile. You might make somebody else happy. You might bring peace or happiness or joy to somebody else, which helps relieve them of an ache or a pain, or helps get them out of a bit of a slump. Maybe it's a friend who's on your social media. Maybe it's somebody you don't really know. It doesn't have to be social media either. It could just be smiling at someone in the street, sending a nice email or a nice text message to a friend or a colleague, one of your kids, a partner, whoever. Okay, and we can share peace just by feeling peace. Okay, it emits like the sun. Okay? The sun doesn't care. It just emits. Okay, so if you're feeling peace, and just like the sun, it will just emit from you. people will be able to sense it, feel it, and it will change them, even if it's just temporarily. The more that we can feel these higher emotions through being in touch with our true purpose, through being grateful for the completing of our goals and being at the end, the more time we spend there and the less time we spend worrying and stressed and sad, the more positive ripples we're going to send out to the people around us. Okay, and as we are all one connected being, all one consciousness, we're just kind of we seem like a piece of a consciousness. We're actually the whole consciousness. With a whole consciousness experiencing things in a different way. So just by you experiencing peace or love or joy, happiness, that then not only ripples out to the people that are immediately around you, the people you interact with on a regular basis, it ripples out to everybody. And that in turn helps somebody else feel some peace and joy, which in turn can ripple out to more people. So by doing this, you start a wave or continue a wave, you amplify a wave, which goes on forever and ever. So if we come back to our true purpose, our true desires, okay, not necessarily the small ones, the car, the house, the weight, the fitness, or whatever it is. Okay, all worthy things, and they're fine. Our true desire, even if we don't know consciously what it is. And let's say that you already have it. It's already there. And you haven't had to wait 10, 20, 30 years for it. It's not something you're going to receive on your deathbed. It's something you can have right now. You don't have to spend months in meditation or hours and hours a day doing something, whether it's meditation or exercise or work, whatever it is. You don't have to do that for hours and hours to achieve this feeling. You can go to this feeling at any time. It's like the farmer going out to his farm anytime, but instead of pulling up the seedling to try and make it grow a bit faster, you just maybe sit there and watch things grow. You pull out the weeds for sure. Okay, maybe it's fertilizing the soil. It's ensuring it's watered and got enough sunlight. And you're giving it the best opportunity to grow and to grow at the exact right rate. Have faith in the knowledge that whatever you have seen or felt right now is a guarantee. if we continue practicing this feeling, whatever your true desire is, whatever having everything you could possibly want and need in life, just being there, is on its way. It's definitely coming. And at the moment, we're feeling as if we have it already. You don't need to look for it. You don't need to look for the signs of change, because someone who knows that they have something doesn't even look for it. If you know your keys are in your pocket, you don't look for them. You just know that they're there. You don't look despite already knowing that something is already there. So, oh yeah, my keys are in my pocket. I'm just going to go check all the places where I usually keep my keys. Oh no, they're not there. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. I'll check the bathroom. They're not there. Hey, I'll check the bedroom. They're not there. Okay, even though you already knew they were in your pocket. Okay, this is the same thing. Okay? You're looking for something that you already know that you have. There's no need to look for something that you already know that you have. So if you can see yourself running marathons, climbing mountains, jumping out of planes with a parachute, doing weird and wonderful things, and or just normal things, but there's just with a smile on your face instead of stressed. Okay? If you can see all those things and you can feel them and you tend the garden regularly, they will come. They have to. And if we don't tend the garden, they still may come. It just may be slower. It may be a bit more painful, but they're still on their way. Just spend a moment in silence, feeling it one more time, really taking in as much as you can of having your true desire already completed, already in your hands, already in your body. And finally, what I would like you to do is now share that with the group. So whatever feelings you created, okay, they're going to be slightly different from one another. You're going to have different desires, different goals, different feelings, different sensations. So by sharing, you're going to give somebody else just a little bit extra, as just a little variation, okay, over what they felt on their own. So just imagine pushing that out, sharing that out with everyone here. Share it out to your family and friends. Share it out to work colleagues. Share it out to anyone else that you feel like sharing it out to. And then be open to receive what has been shared by others in this group. Okay, don't feel any disappointment if you feel like oh, do you know what? I feel like I haven't shared very much. I didn't generate the feeling very much. You did exactly the right amount. Okay, and no matter how much you feel like you shared, you deserve to feel and receive the sharing from others. Everyone did exactly what they were supposed to do and shared exactly what they were supposed to share. And you have also received exactly what you were supposed to receive.